right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Live, Thursday, December 1st, 2022. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez. And we got special guest today, the marvelous Mr. Bell, Curator Bell. How's it going, man?
Yo, what is up, Gonzo Sports Room? What is up, my friends? I'm so happy to be here. I've missed you guys. I know you guys have missed my faces because, who wouldn't miss me? But man, I'm so happy to be here.
Man, it's been a while since we've seen you, too. So, yeah, we have missed you.
It's been a little bit.
We got Kelly Fine and Marcus Fine are already in here. Hi, guys.
Love the finds. What's up?
Go ahead, Dad.
Hey,
I'll try to fix this.
Just to get things started a little bit. What got you into the wrestling business?
Depression. If I can give you an honest answer, it was depression. I was really depressed. I was watching a lot of wrestling. I was just like, man, this is actually pretty cool. It kind of got me out of my funk, and this is why I'm here. So wrestling helped me not want to kill myself. So
how did the opportunity come about?
I started off with, as you guys know, AACW. I just randomly hit a line just for people that were looking for wrestling workers or people that wanted to help with wrestling, and I started from there. So,
okay, cool. What's next for you in the wrestling business?
Right now I'm looking forward to December 17th, where I get to go out and represent the set on behalf of Hollywood House, where I will be managing Sam the Conqueror night at Thunder or Blunder Volume 4 at the Emerson Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana. So that's what I'm looking forward to right now initially.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be there too. So
yes, I can't wait.
Forward to that. So that's going to be cool. What other projects you got? Because I know you're the curator and you got all kinds of things going on. So can you tell us about some of the other projects you got going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to plug all my stuff, but I'm going to plug all my stuff, right? You guys already know you guys can find me at In Your House. I curate so much chaos there, help to create content for the page, and constantly help to make neckbeards mad. And that's my job there. That's what I do. I'm also on co-host of the In Your House podcast with the man, the myth, the legend, my homie, Hollywood House. And but then on top of that, you guys know I work with the Kokomo Press, so you guys can find me on the Kokomo Press podcast. We're constantly putting out content there, and a plethora of other things. I've seemed to, since the last time that I've been on here, I've seemed to added a couple more personalities in my MPT thing. So you never know. Now I go by the name of Hypocrisy Jones sometimes, or you guys can call me Jordan, or the Curator, or the marvelous Mr. Bell. It doesn't really matter what you call me. Just call me Lovely,
Did have a question. Can you expand? Why did you leave AACW?
So yeah, my decision to leave AACW was I butted heads with someone, and I'm just going to be real and honest with you, right? I have the utmost respect for Shane Kauser. I love Hogg. I love guys like Christian Cash. I love guys like Justin Grubb, Brody Bodkins, all the guys in the back. But I butted heads with someone, and that's just honestly what that was. I don't feel like I need to work with this person because they don't seem to be adding any value to any shows that I've been on or to me myself. So,
well, one thing, I'm not involved in any of that, but one thing I do want to say, I think it's a big loss for AECW for you not to be there. That's my personal opinion.
I'm gonna be real. I think it's a big loss for AACW not to have me as well. And like I said, I love those guys, and it's not that I won't work with any of those guys in the future or anything like that. It's just that I don't feel like I can work with them right now under some certain or current situation and circumstances. But other than that, it's all love. This is wrestling. I try not to take myself super serious, and hopefully people aren't taking me super serious. And I'm just out here looking for work and looking for ways to expand my brand, and to not only that, but to put people on to my group. I represent the set. I'm not a background member of the set. I'm a full active member. I'm not a tag team wrestler, and I'm not a singles wrestler or anything like that. I'm a manager, right? But I am there in the set to help with help Hollywood House, help him do things that when he is unavailable, help the other members of the set, whether that's through helping to help them create some sort of chaos, controversy, whatever, what have you. um you know as they continue to build their brand, and as we continue to build our brand with the set and with household productions.
Yeah, I think it's really cool what you and House is doing. I know big things are well. You guys' podcast is fantastic and does great. I
Thank
mean,
you.
it's a fantastic podcast. Big things are happening for Hollywood House. I know you're excited about that, and
Yes,
that's fantastic
yes.
too. Uh,
That that's my homie, yo. And he just got interviewed by Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which is, if you're on the spectrum of anything,
yes.
that is huge. He damn near got interviewed by Uncle Dave. I mean, it wasn't Uncle Dave, but damn near. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I know what you mean because I mean, Pro Wrestling Illustrated for me growing up, I mean that's how I followed wrestling because there wasn't
right,
that much wrestling on TV back then. So I mean, I couldn't wait for the magazines to come out, and so that's huge.
And there wasn't no internet back then.
With no internet or anything.
right,
So I
right.
mean,
Times
that
were
was
rough, man. We had to write
yeah,
on paper and all sorts of stuff, and
yeah,
everybody had a home phone prevalent in their house. It was weird.
yeah. It was weird, definitely. But yeah, big things are happening for you guys, and I'm thoroughly impressed and excited for you guys. I
Thank
think
you.
it's great. I did have a question because you've seen wrestlers come into the business, just say for AACW or any other promotions that you might have been involved in. Some, how is it different for a manager?
Um, you, my perspective is that I think that people have always looked at me a little bit differently, because they'll look at me, they'll be like, "Are you a wrestler?" And I'll be like, "No, I'm not a wrestler." And then I think sometimes people instantly dismiss me, but I don't have that kind of character or mindset or even that kind of presence for somebody to really dismiss me. I'm gonna make sure that you know who I am, you know what I'm about, and you know what I'm trying to do. Um, so it it's always a weird thing going into any sort of locker room, introducing myself, telling people who I am, that I'm a manager or a wrestling manager and things like that, because I don't think people necessarily know what to expect out of me, or they undersell me or undervalue me. But I have so much to offer in the world of professional wrestling, at least in my humble opinion. And that I have so much that I want to try to give back to this beautiful business.
I agree with your humble opinion,
Thank
100%.
thank you.
Because when I first seen you, didn't even know you. I mean, I met you 5 minutes before the show, maybe a little bit longer than that, and you come out and just your persona was fantastic. And the way you had the crowd going, it was just unbelievable. And the house is the same way. The first time I seen House, and I just wish we had more managers in the business. I grew up with Bobby Heenan and the Mouth of the South and all those great managers, Slick and all that, and we don't have that anymore. And I think that's something that's really missing from professional wrestling.
Well, I think there's a resurgence in that, and I saw that from House, and then, and I I don't lie to anybody. I make things very very clear. I saw House, and I was like, man, I could do what this guy's doing. I like what this guy's doing, and ever since, like, we've pretty much been linked. I'm never leaving House. That's my homie, bro. Like, You know, so I think this thing that we're building and that he started the foundation of um is that, you know, at least for in the set, you know, we have Khan as the head manager and things like that, but then we also have versatility. There's not very many factions or stables or anything that have, you know, multiple managers or things like that, but this gives our clientele, you know, a lot of flexibility and a lot of maneuverability. You know, if Khan's not available, I can be available. If, you know, I'm not available, you know, Khan's there are already automatically.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I'm hoping to see, and you said there is a resurgence, but I still think right now in some of the organizations they're using the managers more as background, and I want to
Yeah,
see
no, I
more
agree.
stars.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that because like there needs to be I think that we can be used in a little bit more prevalence and utilized in a little bit more smarter ways throughout shows. But we're still in this time where we're still learning how to reuse these things and reuse these things with the current trends and current climate of the product.
And especially with how big the internet and social media is now, I think that even adds more of an avenue for managers to be a bigger part because of all the promos and different things that you can do that back in the day you wasn't available.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna kick this back to Khan said on his Pro Wrestling Illustrated interview. He said that Bobby Heenan back in the day said he didn't want to be like in his clients like day-to-day sort of things. He didn't want to be managing their dry cleaning, managing their day-to-day personal things. He just wanted to be their professional wrestling manager. And Khan said something to the effect of, that's not necessarily how he operates now. He's helping people with promos, he's helping people with videos, he's helping people with content. And that's kind of the mindset that I look at it as, is that, anyone that I can help, that is clientele, future clientele, or whatever, what have you, I'm going to help them in the most ways possible, not just in the wrestling ring, but outside the wrestling ring. I'm going to use my voice on social media because I have a loud one. And I'm going to use my platforms that I built, or built and or helped build. Because those are tools to utilize. And why wouldn't you want to shout your clients out to the biggest pools possible? And that's not just on a Saturday or a Sunday show.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because I was fortunate enough to grow up and got to see Bobby Heenan basically starting out, and he was managing and wrestling, and that was before he became the Brain. He was Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan, and
Yep.
and he was more involved in the managing and some of that stuff. And as he got more involved and also got older, he didn't want to do that stuff. I remember a story he told about with Ric Flair when they put him with Ric Flair in the WWE. He said he lasted about 30 days, and he said, "I can't travel with Ric Flair." He said, I'm gonna die." He said, "I can't keep up with Flair." He said, "Flair wants to be a party animal, and I can't do that." He said, "I won't make it another week." He said, "I'll quit." He said, "I'll quit the company." He said, "Either take me off with him or I'm done."
I mean,
And so
following Flair had to have been hard, man. You got to be a special type of breed, man, to be able to follow him. I don't know if I could hang with Flair like that. Maybe Hollywood could. He got that gambling problem and stuff. So like,
see, my personal favorite is Heenan, my favorite manager of all time. But Paul Heyman is really starting to creep up there. I've seen Hollywood talking about Heyman. He's really starting to he's trying to take over that spot. Just
oh,
as
I think Heyman has, and I think he's had a stronghold on it for almost the last 30 years, if we're being real, because who else has been that sort of prevalent manager or that prevalent and long standing in the business and hit in that role? I don't think there's anybody, right?
yeah, and I know Bully Ray has talked about on Busted Open. People don't understand how much Heyman has to do right now with everything that's going on with Roman and the bloodline. He said he is a driving force.
Absolutely. And I can see it just knowing in the some of the promotions that I've been involved in that that I have dealt with, I'm a hands-on person, whether it's me creating videos or promos or whatever for myself, or creating some sort of content, or making sure that the flyers are good. Like, I've always been a hands-on person uh with the work and the things that I do with professional wrestling, because you gotta be. And also, I, not to be completely cocky, even though, I am marvelous and I already know this, like, who better than me to do some of these things? Am I gonna really trust somebody else to, to make sure that these flyers look pristine, or am I going to do it myself, or have the homie Jushin do them, because he's great at graphics. Shout out Jushin Credible. um those are the things you got to look at. And like, I'm not a one-dimensional wrestling manager. I'm a multi-dimensional person with multiple different personalities, so we can get a lot done with that.
Is there any managers out there that you're looking at, whether on TV or other independents, other than House and yourself, that you think that it's coming up, or you just like,
I
or
think
thanks?
I think if you don't watch Stokely Hathaway, you're doing yourself a disservice. The things that he is doing and starting, and I know that AEW is in this rough patch right now, since with everything. And we didn't get to. I don't think we got to see the what the firm was supposed to be. So we didn't get to see the full breadth of Stokely Hathaway in that role. But I think he is one of those people you have to watch. And even in our local scene, you got guys like Mort's Millionaires, a great managing talent. Of course, myself and House, but and then Tobias Wiley, right? Like, we have some great managers around this area. I know I'm missing some people, but it's early, and
And then with
you know
something that how something that House said here about Heyman promoting all these guys, not easy. The way he portrays the role of manager is special. And
yeah.
one thing about Heyman, he can just stand there and not even say anything, and just
Well,
his facial expressions and everything has an effect on the whole
Everything,
thing.
the whole
yeah.
presentation.
You look at the last premium live event that we just had, right? I don't think Heyman spoke the entire show, did not say a word, but you knew he was there, and you knew his presence, whether it was from his
Yes,
or
yes.
whatever. But like, whether it was just a stone cold stare, like, you knew his presence throughout that entire show. Yeah, let me not forget Pollo Del Mar. Love some Pollo Del Mar. And Pollo Del Mar is one of those people that is also in this business, not just being a manager, right? Like, going out there trying to teach other people the craft of managing. Pollo was doing Twitter Spaces for a long time with Gabe Sapolsky, and so much knowledge gets dropped through those things.
And Gabe's a tremendous wrestling mind, tremendous.
Yeah.
I had a question here. Best decision that you've made so far in the wrestling business, and the worst decision you've made.
Staying with Hollywood House. Sticking by Hollywood House. It's the best decision I could have made. I think a long time ago I could have been like, man, that's my rival, I need to go after that guy and be like competitive with him. But it's one of my best friends. He's my real homie, and like, so happy I have him, because we are in each other's inboxes almost daily for something. So worst decision I ever made in wrestling so far. I I make dumb comments every now and then. And if you want to shoot back to that ACW thing, I made a really dumb comment towards towards shooting with Shane, which sparked a whole bunch of stuff, which is one of the reasons why I'm not working with AACW any longer. But that was probably the worst decision. I didn't really think before I said something, and then it caused more shit. So that probably was not the greatest.
And hey, it happens to everybody sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you love about the wrestling business? And one thing that you just completely are in love about the wrestling business, and one thing you just completely dislike about the wrestling business.
Oh, the one thing I dislike is the segregation of fans. You either have to be an AEW head or you have to be a WWE head. Like, and you're not allowed to like both products. That is the biggest toxicity in wrestling since Usher started singing My Way. And like what I love about professional wrestling is professional wrestling. I've told you guys, it literally saved my life. It made me feel like I had some sort of purpose, some sort of journey, even if it's just playing around. It gave me a path. So
Yeah, I think that's what's great about professional wrestling. There's something in pro wrestling for everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, right now, I've kind of fizzled out a little bit on AEW. I haven't watched as much in the last month as I did because
It's a little hard to watch.
It has been for me, and especially, I mean, it's just a lot of matches, and a lot of it don't make sense to me. But that don't mean that other people can't like it, and I don't mean that I'm going to put it down because that's not fair. I can say I dislike it or I have problems with it, but I'm not going to sit there and say you shouldn't like it or this person shouldn't like it.
I love what AEW is doing to the indie scene of wrestling. Like last night we saw guys like Eric Dillinger, working security. We saw other local guys that are in this Midwest scene. It's giving people chances that probably wouldn't have a chance to get that foot in the door into WWE. I don't think it's this big war thing because that everybody wants it to be. It's not WCW, WWE back in the day. It is it's another avenue, and it's a tool that, if you're in the professional wrestling business or you're of any sort, that you can utilize and you can attain. And it's an attainable goal that you can go after. Hey, I want to be on AEW. That's one of my goals. One of my goals is, hey, I want to be on AEW. Hey, I'd like to be featured. Someday I'd like to do something in the WWE. I don't even care if it's just writing. Hey, I want to make it to NWA. Hey, I want to make it to Impact. Sorts of things. They're all attainable goals. I just don't like the toxicity in the fans.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
How has your mindset changed from when you first got into the wrestling business to now?
I learned that you can't trust everybody. And you continue to learn that. And not in a way that like somebody screwed me, but like sometimes people just don't know and they give you bad advice. Like, you have to be really like steadfast in your journey, in your knowledge, like what you're trying to learn. And that's not just a wrestling thing, that's just in life, right? Like, whatever your path is, like you have to remember that not everybody's going to give you good advice, and it's not that somebody's trying to give you bad advice, but they may do it. Yeah, they may not know, they may think they know, but they don't really know. So you really have to you really have to investigate and learn and teach yourself and grow in the especially in this business.
So that's one thing where I feel like we've been blessed with what we're doing is to have guys like Ladies Man Mike King, even yourself, guys that we can that gave us advice, or if we have a problem we can talk to and are willing to help. So I think
Yeah.
we've been blessed to, but all goes to what you say. You got to surround yourself by the right people.
Joey Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joey
you
Owens as well.
You definitely do. You definitely do. And I'm so thankful that like you guys have been around and that like people have treated you good, you know, and you know, given you a good solid path, because there's so like you guys have had some good guys, you know, help you and be there along with you. Thankfully that's the case. You know, that's not always the case in anything, to be honest. And I want to give you guys congratulations on your Hoosier Wrestling Alliance Award. That is so good. And from my podcasts to yours, you know, congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you know, you guys have been able to get accomplishments like that because of, one, your grind, and because you've been listening and watching and learning from all these people in this business. You know, I think at one there probably would have been a time, you know, before our time where people um would have just like passed people like you and I up, right? That were not necessary in the wrestling business in the traditional sense, right? Like, who would have thought, hey, I can utilize these podcasters with my wrestling? You know, I can utilize that within my wrestling and things like that. And the way the business has changed is just great.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I'm having a blast. I'm kind of like you. I don't take myself too serious. I know I'm never going to be a professional announcer with WWE or anything like that. I'm 59 years old.
Right.
This is
Yeah,
kind of a little
never
bit.
say never. Never say never. They may scoop you up, you know.
I think I'm gonna fall apart before that, but it just, I mean, because this, when I was a little kid, I would uh this is going back way back then we had 8-track recorders, and I would record myself doing baseball games and stuff as a little kid. So this is kind of a dream come through, and
Loved it.
something I didn't expect, because I mean, the dream kind of died, and then Chris had this going on and needed some help, and so I kind of jumped on board to help out. So but I'm having a blast.
We about a year and a half, a little over a year and a half in, and just I would have never thought we'd be this far as quick as we've been.
Right.
I love, tomorrow we're going to Cincinnati, be our first out of state
Oh,
show. So I'm looking real forward to that.
that's
And
big. That's big.
And then just getting to meet the people we've met, like if it wasn't for this, we would have never met you, Hollywood House,
Yeah.
the Fines.
Great people, man. Great people.
Absolutely.
We've made a lot of good friends throughout this. So that's another great thing about it.
I think that's been one of my favorite things about like entering into the wrestling industry is just being able to meet some of the great people that I've met, and like the fact that like some of these great people, they still follow me and they still watch what I'm doing. They you know, they may laugh at my corny ass jokes or whatever, but love it.
Thanks, Hollywood. Said you guys deserve the success.
You
Appreciate
definitely do.
Well, we talked about just a touch, but what do you think about AEW? What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong?
Oh, MJF and nothing else. That's what they're doing right. Everything else I don't know.
I agree with you on Stokely. I think he's fantastic. The firm, I just never got. I don't think it was like you said, what it was supposed to be.
Well,
I think
you guys
Stokely,
know
if they used them right.
you guys know the reports with the firm, right? Is that the firm was supposed to be used during the CM Punk feud. Now with when it got switched to John Moxley, it made less sense to utilize the firm against the Bulletproof or the Combat Society. My brain, the BCC. So it made less sense to use them, so they had to find a way to kind of like, you know, maneuver that around. I think that's going to be swung back to and I think that's going to be better because you got guys like Ethan Page, who is probably one of the next stars in AEW. And a couple Morrissey and who else is in the firm?
I
Lee,
hope it works out
right?
for Morrissey in that group for me. But I
Yeah.
really like Morrissey. I think he needs to be on his own. But we'll see. I mean, I hope it works out because I'm a big fan of his.
One mistake I feel like AEW made was they were starting to build some of their own stars in like Darby.
Darby Allin.
Yeah,
Well, they
Darby Allin
transitioned from it.
and some of them guys, and then they brought the old WWE guys, and then kind of put them guys on the back burner. And
Well,
I think that's what's really hurt. One of the things that's hurt them.
I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. You saw what they did with Soraya, and look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Soraya should be coming in and winning against Britt Baker. That sounds like horrible booking to me. Maybe you build up to that, maybe something, but like first match in, I don't know about that. Yeah, the way they built CM Punk really wasn't bad. He worked with young guys. He went on a streak. And whatever happened between him and Hangman Page, not really sure of or right, but like they didn't do bad with Punk. They didn't fix bad things quick enough with him. I don't think. They should have saw, hey, there's a thing between Adam and Punk, right? Why don't we try to like smooth this over before it gets out of hand, sort of thing. Hopefully they'll do those things in the future, but only time will tell.
Yeah, and you're gonna be surprised by this. One of the good things about AEW is Tony Khan, because, and I know you're gonna be surprised because I'm not the biggest Tony Khan fan. And I'm saying this because he had the money and also a huge wrestling fan, and he got wrestling back on TV. He got another program, got another promotion, and had the money to make it something like Impact don't have that kind of backing. Impact's got a decent program, but they don't have that kind of backing. And so he was able to do that. Now, the biggest negative of AEW is also Tony Khan, because he didn't have control of his company. And that's why a lot of the things that's happened. And I think that if he would bring some people in to help him have a little more control, I think they could get back on track. And the other big miss for them, I think, is how they used Wardlow. Wardlow was up here and they let it die down. And I think he could have been really.
What? You don't like Wardlow's world? You're telling me you don't think Wardlow's world is such a good gimmick? That's not the greatest thing you've ever heard in your life? Because that's lame as shit to me.
Yes, I agree with Wardlow. After coming out with MJ, after finally getting away from MJF, was the hottest thing they had, and they just completely extinguished it.
They messed it up by letting him talk. They shouldn't have let him talk. He should have just went out there, just mess guys up and not said nothing. But you let this man go out there and say it's Wardlow's world. Man, I swear to God, I was looking for Wayne and Garth.
Yeah, I agree. And I think part of it is sometimes Khan gets in his own head that he don't want to do things like Wardlow maybe being like a Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior or some kind of type.
Or even
if it works.
Or even like he just said,
if it works, do it.
If you don't let him talk, even if you used Wardlow kind of like Bill Goldberg back in the day, where he just ran through people and didn't speak.
If it works,
there's a path. There's a simple path. Like humans are really, really simple, right? Like you could give somebody the same thing, right? You could give somebody something. You see that they like it. They see they like that path, right? You could kind of give it to them again in a different look. Like people are super, super simple. You don't have to make this too much of anything. And I think that's what sometimes you're right. I think he does get in his own head. They also I think they let people do too much that's not vetted. I think they're kind of pulling that in, but like they let people just kind of get away with whatever they're trying to get away with at the time. So
yeah. And I think having Ring of Honor was a good buy and a bad buy, because not having a TV slot for them and it's putting them on AEW, it's kind of taken up. It's confusing sometimes, at least even for me. And I know Ring of Honor.
I really think that Ring of Honor was purchased to say, hey, all right, so now we can get an HBO deal. and I think that's still what it's there for, and I think that's still what they're trying to use it for. They're not using the actual product in a great way. The only thing good that is going on right now is Jericho, as far as that goes, and that is almost staling out. I'm sure like Jericho has a way of like, you know, creating something, it's starting to get stale, and then him refreshing it before it does. But that's almost getting stale right there. And the use of Ring of Honor talent is kind of weird. It's very confusing. You guys remember when ECW was on WWE? And like it reminds me of that. And honestly, that shit just confuses the hell out of me. Can I just get one brand and y'all just fight in that one brand? I don't really need to know that this guy's from this wrestling promotion, this guy's from this wrestling promotion. Now it's cool. Dream matches are great. And I'm sure everybody everybody has dream matches that they want to see. But you don't have to over season this.
Well, it's one thing that I like and dislike about AEW, they got like AR Fox an opportunity. And I think that's great, except for one thing. You don't know anything about AR Fox. I mean, I do, but
you don't know anything about AR Fox generally, and if you see AR Fox coming out on TV, that he is probably going to take that out. And I'm just being like that. That's the thing I don't love about AEW is that I can predict matches before they even happen, and I can predict outcomes, and we know who they're pushing, we know who they're not pushing, and things like that. And they don't mix it up well enough.
I mean, I think WWE use video packages too much to help
sometimes.
But I think AEW don't use it near enough.
Yeah, you're right. You're honestly right. There's a tale of two worlds there. If you just find a way to do it in a condensed, or do it in a little bit smaller form, then
I mean, I know why WWE does it that way, or at least why Vince and I think Triple H buys into some of that they feel like every time they're on TV, there's somebody new that hasn't seen the product. So they're going to show those videos,
and I'm sure that's how that works. But like at the same time, like
when you watch it all the time, when you're there every time and you've seen that package over and over,
you would get better utilization if you use guys like Michael Cole who tell brilliant stories. Like the story during War Games this past week, the background stories that he was telling for Io and Asuka, and the background stories he was telling for AJ and Finn and the Bullet Club and things like that, and using actual like historical things. He was telling this during the matches, right? So like that's how you utilize that. That's how you keep you get people in the loop.
What do you think about the WWE product since Triple H has taken over?
I think it's a lot a bit better, but I still think they're failing certain areas. I think you got guys like I don't know what to think of the Viking Raiders. I also don't know what to think of the Street Profits right now and how they're going to utilize them in the tag situation. They're using guys really weird. Riddle really was almost top of the company just a couple months ago, and with Vince. And now he's back in thrown together tag team that we know is going to break up. But I don't understand certain things like that.
Well, I think the Riddle thing was because of what happened with Orton. I think there was big plans for him and Orton got hurt, and I think that messed that up. The Viking Raiders have not been used well since they first came into the company.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think they're trying.
Can they just go back to War Machine? Please.
The one thing I do love right now is Sami Zayn.
Yeah, how could you not love Sami Zayn, right? And that kind in his type of character, they're nailing that. Seth Rollins is A1, like
Yep.
just we talk about the run that Roman has had, but like I think the run that Seth has been having is just absolutely fucking crazy.
Yep.
It, theory, now that may be a little bit, controversial, and people may think different things, but like I think theory is on a trajectory that
I do
is
too.
going up.
Yeah, I think they
um
was boxing in the corner a little bit with with Vince giving them that money in the bank, and you've got just one title,
it is
and they wasn't going to take it off Roman,
yeah,
not, not at that time. So it was kind of put him in a bad way. So they had to try to find a way to get him out of that, and I think they did the best they could with it.
yeah, you're not wrong, you're not wrong.
But I love Theory. I think Theory's gold. I think they're doing a lot of things right. The biggest negative I've got is the tag team scene. I want, I
It's
came
kind of
from the
hard right
British
now with
Bulldog.
both belts being held up. They have to find a way to separate those, and unfortunately I think they can't find a way to separate those until WrestleMania, when whatever happens with the bloodline story like finally culminates, if it finally culminates there, I guess.
I just seen the figures of what's selling, and believe it or not, the Usos are selling. I mean, fantastic also. So as long as that big money is coming in with the Usos and the Bloodline and all these guys, they tend to stick with those guys because of the sales.
Absolutely. Now you got to, um but to that point, guys like Bray sell.
Oh yeah,
But and I'm very worried about where his trajectory is going. This thing with I don't know where this thing with LA Knight's gonna go. I'm super under um I'm kind of bearish on where this Uncle Howdy thing is going. It's
it's moving a little slow.
yeah,
I think they've got to pick up the pace on it, or
yeah.
people are already starting to question it. So and I think they've got something big planned, but I think they're moving a little slow.
I think so too. And I'm trying to give it time. I I'm not trying to give Paul Levesque all the love right now, because as I am happy that he took over for Vince. Thankfully, Vince is kind of maybe gone. Um, even though I'm sure he's there in some aspects, but there are some things that I think Triple H can do better. I think there's some things that he can improve.
The women's division needs to get stronger again. But to be fair, when you have such big stars gone from the company, like Flair was gone, Becky has been out,
Yeah,
uh, uh, Banks has not been there. So I mean, they had a lot of people missing, but they didn't do a very good job of filling the holes and making more stars. So I mean, so we'll see. Now the women down in NXT, I think are fantastic. I think they're getting better all the time. Uh,
I'm not gonna lie.
I think the
I haven't watched
NXT
NXT
is turning
in a
really.
bit, so
You need. I'm telling you, I know it's hard because you're probably a big black and gold guy like I was, but it's getting better. They've got some people down there that's come over from the UK that's got some great work rate, and it's definitely getting
yeah, I
better.
like Devlin. I like
Yes,
Devlin.
fantastic.
Um, and I've caught some stuff hit and miss. It's just there's a lot of wrestling content to go through. Sometimes
Oh,
sometimes I got to put some stuff on the back burner. NXT is one of those that I'll binge. That like
yeah.
I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna take these next 2 days and I'm just gonna watch the last like 3 months of shit, right?
I'll tell you what, they got a pay per view or whatever you want, premium live event, whatever you want to call the crap.
Premium live event.
But
Yeah,
they got one coming up on the 10th.
PLE.
If you get a chance to check it out, they got one coming up on the 10th.
I'm interested to see what that new match that they're doing is going to look like.
They've got a new
Yeah,
match.
this
Right.
Iron Survivor thing. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting.
Hollywood says wants to deal with Flair. She's been promoted to return twice, but still hasn't.
I don't
Yeah,
know what's
see,
going on.
I don't know either. I don't know if they're like kind of waiting to figure out like what's going to go on with
I think
Sasha
I think there was
before they
some.
bring all these people back, but
I think there were some health reasons why she was out.
I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe maybe she had a surgery or something, or something going on.
There had been some rumors about maybe a pregnancy and things didn't go right there. There's been some rumors. I mean, I don't know, but I think there's a health reason why she's been out.
It
And then
makes sense.
and I don't know what's all going on with Eldrade, if he's staying with AEW or if
He's
he's
trying to get fired. He's still
he's
trying to
been
get
fired.
fired. Yeah. Watch him come back to AEW, whoop on Sammy Guevara's ass for no reason.
Daniel Fuel has a question for you. How long are Sam Knight and the director going to keep Paragon from folding you up like a lawn chair?
So I need to address the Paragon situation within the set. Paragon is one of my best friends, really. But he is no longer a part of the set. He left on his own on his own, and that was a decision that he made. And unfortunately, we all love Paragon. I think he's part of the family, but he's going off on his own right now and doing his own thing. So hopefully our paths will cross in the future sometime, but for right now I don't think there's going to be too much interaction.
And that's something that happens in the wrestling business. Is sometimes people move their own direction,
Yeah.
and then, like you said, paths will cross back.
Yeah. It's all love though, because you see the stuff that Paragon's out there doing. He's a multi-champion across the country, whether it's in Washington State or Maryland or right here in Indiana. Like, that man is doing work. And like I said, Paragon is my best friend. He loves me, right? But as far as set business goes, he's no longer with the set. So I hope that means that if he was to like come at me, like Sam and them would be like, hey, back off. But and speaking of Sam, can I just talk about Sam for a minute?
Yeah,
Like, I get the pleasure and the opportunity to manage Sam the Conqueror Knight at Thunder Blunder Volume 4, and I'm so happy for that. I don't know if you guys know this, but like Sam is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business. He's almost 17 years in this game, and all he does is drop knowledge for people and help people. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be able to manage him, because I've been under his tutelage, been listening to his words, been listening to his advice, and watching him. And I get to show him, hey, that I've been listening, and I've been hearing what he's been saying, and put that to actual use. So I'm super looking forward to being able to manage Sam, and also fuck Mount Olympus, because that's what we say in the set.
Bringing up Sam and his tutelage and all, what's the best piece of advice that you've got from a wrestler, manager, anybody? What's the best piece of advice you think you've got?
It really just to pick your spots and know your worth. Don't just go into something because somebody says, hey, you want to do this thing with me. You have to know what's going to be beneficial to you, to your career, to your time, because if you don't want to be out here wasting your time. That's the only time is our only natural resource that we cannot get back, right? So
This is a question I've been asking quite a few people we've been having on. Favorite wrestling move that you absolutely love, and also a move that you absolutely dislike.
I love a good rock bottom or a good frog splash. I'm constantly elbow dropping my fiance. So I love those. wrestling move that I hate, it's the leg drop, and it's just because of Hulk Hogan, no other reason.
See, mine is because the way it's misused right now is a super kick because it's just so
I
so misused.
I know that, yeah, I know it's been overused, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
No,
And
it's
like
not. It's not.
it's definitely not. But like
Yeah,
I've kind of learned to appreciate the abruptness of the super kick. You see guys like the Usos doing it, they'll pull it out of
oh,
nowhere,
yeah.
and it's not a finishing move, right? So like I mean, I know we try kind of taken from Sean back in the day, but it's not a finisher no more.
No,
So
it's not. Well, just like a Canadian Destroyer, I just absolutely love that move. And then now I've seen people take Canadian Destroyer on a table and still not get pinned, and I'm like,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just not
Wrestling
getting
is
that.
kind of convoluted, man. You know, like,
Yeah,
yeah. Shout out to guys like the veteran Jack Vaughn, who are out there showing people on their TikToks, you know, what
yep,
real
yep,
wrestling
yep.
is, man.
People you would that you haven't got an opportunity to work with that you would like to.
Um, right now, I'm really just open to anyone. As long as as long as it makes sense. And and we can put the right amount of effort into it. I don't want to mention anybody because I'll end up not mentioning the right people. So
Hollywood says Canadian Destroyer on the apron with the kick out at 2 makes me sick.
I agree. I agree. I
the
know.
drama,
I
it's
know.
good shit.
uh, Promotions that you would like to work for
Um,
that you haven't got the opportunity to.
yeah, I definitely I would I want to continue working with Emerge, being at Emerge, going there, getting maybe some more time. I'm really excited to be working at Thunder Blunder because it'll be my first time there. I'd like to branch out to maybe the Chicagoland area. I'm looking forward to Destination 6 in Illinois, um, and and maybe helping with that in some capacity. I definitely love to make it to OVW at some point, because I think that's that'll lead to bigger and better things. You know what I mean? But you know, the sky's the limit. I'm not trying to limit myself. I'm also trying to bring a little bit more wrestling to Indiana, and especially Kokomo, Indiana. So we're looking
Is it ready to say about that?
to have a put on a wrestling show here in the near future. So
Yeah,
well, you just kind of answered Marcus's question.
Yeah,
yeah, it's more than a rumor. It's not a rumor, that it is something I definitely have in works, or in the works, with a good collective of good wrestling minded guys. Um, um, I don't want to divulge too much, but yeah, that we definitely have some things coming, and we definitely have some things in the works.
I do have a question on that. Do you feel that people are going to have a problem with that because of Shane's promotion in Kokomo? I
Man, I hope
personally,
not.
I
I hope
personally,
you just like wrestling, man, because I like wrestling, and you can go to AECW events, or you can go to an event that I hold, or you can go to an Emerge, or you can go to
yeah,
an OVW, you can go to up in Lafayette, you can go to any.
That's how we feel. The
I,
more wrestling, the better. But
I agree with you on 100% on that, and I don't think you're going to be like this. But we've got a situation here where we live where there's two promotions here, okay, and
Yeah.
and the other promotion wants to just try to do anything they can to uh, give give the other promotion a hard time and tear it down, and I have a
I
problem with
never
that.
want to I never want to undermine anyone else's work or anyone else's business. Like, I love AACW. I got mad love for Shane. But I do have a vision that I want to see played out.
Yeah,
And that's
and there's nothing,
that's what I
nothing
want
wrong
to
with
try
that.
to do. And like I said, we got some good guys on board with this venture. And good wrestling minded smart people. So
a question with that. You just want to run a show, or you're hoping to be just a running promotion in Kokomo?
I'd like to have something that is um I'd definitely like to do more than a one-off.
I didn't know if you was looking to be like a run every monthly or maybe
I think
4 or
that
5 this one.
I think the goal is to, like, if I had dream goal, like, right, I would like to have something that I could run weekly. To be honest. But honestly, I don't have I at this point I don't have the means for that. Um I but I would like to, but initially starting off, I would definitely like something that we can at least put on a show, maybe even quarterly, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I,
if everything gets going and you would like it to be streamed, all you have to do is get a hold of us.
I know the guys to talk to. Yeah. And to go back to what Mr. Fine said, I don't ever want to stab anybody in the back. I have mad love for everybody that's in this business. And even the guys at AECW, they know that if they ever need me or they ever want me for anything, all they really got to do is call me and holler, and I'll do whatever I can to help. And if I can't help, I'll send them in the direction of somebody that I know who can.
yeah, that's like
I don't have any bad blood with anyone. I know I said I had a thing, had a little thing with the shooter guy. But that didn't have anything to do with necessarily bad blood. It was just a bad situation that we probably shouldn't have even started.
available.
Marcus said we'll be there if we are available.
Yep. His schedule gets
Love you,
it
Mr.
gets full.
Fine.
His schedule gets full quick.
Which him and Kelly broke the record a couple weeks ago for
I saw that
for a number of shows in the year. So
I saw that.
Yeah, going back to the promotion thing real quick. I mean, me and Chris, we took a stand on that because we got our start with DCCW, and this other promotion was just doing horrible things. So we decided we would never mention that promotion on the air, and we
Right.
don't. But now one thing we talked about, and to be fair, some of the wrestlers come on our show, and if they want to promote their show that they're going to be, we let them promote it, but we just let them know ahead of time we won't promote it. It won't come out of our mouths.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm not trying to make a lot of enemies in this business. I think I made a few, but like I just want to more so make friends and bring people together, have a good time, maybe pass some herb. All right, never mind.
See, Marcus said they're going to hit 70 if it
nice.
Looks like they're planning. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're 100% right,
Absolutely, Hollywood. Absolutely.
Yeah, we.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, well, the Fines are great. We've been meeting up with them before shows and eating lunch and stuff, and they're great people,
having a blast.
And actually, Marcus is going to be on the show Monday, so.
I love it. I love it. And I love the outlet and the avenue that, you guys have for them. Like, I'm so happy that, like, way back when I met you guys, I was just like, hey, you need to hit this guy up. He's really
Yep.
So I love everything that y'all are doing and everything that the Fines are doing. 70 is a lot of shows. I'm trying to hit 70 wrestling shows in a year, to be honest, in a different way, but for real.
One thing if you could change about the wrestling business, if you could, what would it be?
Nothing. If you change something, you run the risk of making it worse, and I'm not trying to make the wrestling business worse. Just want to make it better. Just want to continue to see it like thrive and live.
Yeah, when you mentioned about Sam Knight, he's another guy I want to get back on because
Yeah.
he was on once with us, and the knowledge and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
like you talked about, man. Sam's awesome. I'm actually looking forward to getting to see him at the Thunder Blunder on December 17th.
17-year vet Sam the Conqueror Knight. He's going to take on Mount Olympus's Austin Ryan, which fuck Mount Olympus, respectfully. And that's all that really needs to be said about that. I'm gonna go in there, make sure that things get handled the way that Hollywood would want them handled, and the way that Sam needs them handled, as the conqueror. And we're gonna go out there, we're gonna get a win, and and then we're gonna go celebrate.
I'd like to see you and actually the set. I'd like to see you, Hollywood, and the set DCCW sometime. I think that'd be awesome.
That's definitely something that's probably could be in the works. Probably could happen, for sure. I know I want to make it to the or I need to make it myself to DCCW, back to DCCW, and just play around a little bit. So I'd be down for it.
I said that's about a year and a half ago. That's where we met you at. So
Yeah.
You got anything else, Dave?
Not really. I had a question and then I spaced it out. I had it in my head and now I think it's gone.
What did he say? So there's no confusion.
Not sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure either. Oh, maybe this is it. Okay. My goal is to bring the set and the movie to DCCW next year.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, I'm all for that. 100%.
Oh yeah. Oh, anytime we can see Hollywood House and Jordan Bell on the same show, that'd be awesome.
Oh man, that might be overload.
Hey,
Y'all might have to pay. We might have to double ticket prices just for that.
What we need to do, I know we've talked about it before, but we just haven't been able to get it all together. We need to get you and Hollywood on at the same time.
We can do that
on the show.
We can definitely do that. I'd like to. I definitely like to do some sort of co thing with In Your House Gonzo. So
yeah, that'd be great. I know what my question was now. I don't know how much you've been following it, but what do you think of the NWA product?
I haven't followed a whole lot, at least not religiously. I think it was good for Tyrus to win the belt for his sake. Maybe not necessarily for the company's sake. Everything that's happened with Nick Aldis, where he accidentally sent out his blasting of NWA or whatever. I don't know if that was on accident or if that was strategic or whatever. But I think Billy Corgan is trying. I love talents like like we talked about Pollo Del Mar before. And like the Pope Elijah Burke, they're great talents in NWA, people that I follow. But as far as the product, I kind of just I make sure I kind of know what's going on, whether that's just reading the different sheets or whatever.
I think if they want to go anywhere, I think they got to get younger. I think they need to bring some young talent from the independent scene that's very talented and put that on there and go with it. I think they, and I don't think he wants to do that because he wants to stay so old school. But I don't know, and don't get me wrong, I'm old school, but I don't know that that's going to get him a TV deal.
Not wrong. Yeah. You're not wrong. I hope that that's what they're going for, is some sort of TV deal. But you never know. I don't know what Billy Corgan is thinking. Maybe he just likes the YouTube money and Little Fight TV money.
Well, I know he's been talking to.
They do utilize their managers very well.
He's been talking to Triple H, and so far he ain't had any luck. But he's trying to get on Peacock.
I would
He's trying to get.
honestly, I wouldn't. I, I, I could see the WWE buying NWA in the future, probably near and present future, and if it's not for nothing else other than their catalog. So
Yeah, well, originally NWA was going to be on Peacock, and then the
yeah,
deal fell through when it first started, and that fell through, and he's still trying to get on there because you're talking about a lot of eyes.
that is a lot of eyes. That is a lot of eyes.
Well, man, before we get out of here, plug anything you want to you want to plug. Let people know where they can find you and the set and everybody at.
All righty. Well, for those of you who don't know, all of you uncurated swill out there, I shouldn't have to introduce myself, but my name is the marvelous Mr. Bell, the curator of the set. I am the Farnsworth Bentley to the man, the myth, the legend, Hollywood House's P. Diddy. I am Curator Bell. You can find me every week on the In Your House podcast, on the Kokomo Press podcast. Also, check me out on a new podcast that we've started. It's called The Weekly Plug, where we just give you things to, give you things to bite on to for the week, so you're not super bored. Give you ideas of things to watch, things to check out, things to listen to, fashion to peep out, things like that. Check that out on the Weekly Plug. Make sure to follow the set. We put in all this work. Least y'all can do is buy a shirt, right? So go to prowrestlingtees.com, get a the set shirt, follow. I need you guys all of you guys to go out there, follow the set on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, or all the platforms. Follow Sam the Conqueror Knight. I need you to follow Haven Harris. I need you to follow Mr. Broadway, Kindle Fire. I need follow off script. And of course, I need you to go out there and follow my man Hollywood House. He's out there doing big great things. Go check him out on his latest interview that he did with Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It was absolute banger and just so great to see. He's going places, and we're going places, right? So
100%.
yeah. Other than that, man, I have like several names. I think I it's hard to keep track of. It's really hard. You can call me Jordan, you can call me Hypocrisy, you can call me Curator, just don't call me ugly. With that, I ain't got nothing.
All right, we appreciate you joining. It's always a blast talking to you.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks there in Indianapolis at Thunder Blunder 4.
Yeah.
People buy tickets for that show too.
It's going to be a great card.
They got a great card set up for Thunder Blunder 4 there at the Emerson Theater. We'll be there as well.
Yep.
But Curator, it's been a great time. We appreciate you joining us. Only thing I really got before I get out of here is please hit that subscribe button on YouTube for Gonzo Sports.
Hit the button.
And then also follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. We're on every social media but TikTok. I'm working on that, but it's just a lot of social media pages to try to keep track of.
You're gonna have to get on the talk, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get on there soon. But no, we appreciate everybody joining us. We'll see you guys next time. This has been G.W.R. Live with the Curator Jordan Bell. Hope everybody enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Hey.